I'm Peter Whitmore. I'm 73 years old. A few weeks ago, I shared a story here that I didn't expect so many people to connect with. I read thousands of your comments. Some of you thanked me, some of you argued with me, some of you said it scared you. And honestly, that last group is the reason I'm back today. Because there's something I didn't say then, something I avoided because it's harder to talk about. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I need to be honest all the way. This isn't about grief alone. It's about regret. My wife, Susan, and I were married for 41 years. We met young, built a life together, raised a family, paid the bills, did all the things people point to when they say, "That's a successful marriage." And for a long time, I believed that too. We didn't scream at each other. We didn't have dramatic fights. There was no big betrayal, no scandal, no moment where everything obviously broke. From the outside, we looked solid, dependable, normal. But here's the truth I learned too late. A relationship can look healthy and still be slowly starving. Susan used to reach for connection in quiet ways. She'd suggest we take a walk after dinner. She'd ask questions that didn't have easy answers. She'd try to start conversations late at night when the house was finally quiet. And I would shut those moments down without realizing it. Not with cruelty, with distraction. I was tired. I was busy. I told myself I'd earned rest. I believed love was stable enough to survive neglect. I believed presence was optional once commitment was secured. I thought I had time. Over the years, Susan stopped asking as much. That should have scared me, but instead I took it as proof that everything was fine. Fewer requests meant fewer conflicts. Fewer conversations meant fewer chances to say the wrong thing. What I didn't understand was that silence isn't peace. Sometimes it's surrender. When Susan got sick, the illusion shattered. Suddenly there was no later, no vague future where we'd reconnect, travel, or talk the way we used to. Time stopped being generous. It became exact, measured, finite. And in that clarity, she said something that still echoes in my head. She told me we spent too many years protecting our opinions instead of protecting our closeness. At first, I wanted to defend myself. I wanted to list all the things I'd done right, all the responsibilities I carried, all the ways I showed up. But sitting there, watching the person I loved fade, I finally understood something devastating. You can do everything right on paper and still fail at love. Susan didn't want perfection. She wanted participation. She wanted me to be curious about her inner world. She wanted enthusiasm, not compliance. She wanted to feel chosen again and again, not just assumed. I confused stability with intimacy. I confused routine with safety. I confused loyalty with love. In her final weeks, we talked more deeply than we had in years. And those conversations were beautiful, but they were also brutal. Because every honest moment carried the weight of all the moments we'd missed. She told me about dreams she'd quietly let go of, not because life was unfair, but because I was uninterested. She told me about feeling lonely while lying next to me, about shrinking parts of herself to avoid disappointment. And the worst part? She wasn't angry. She had already mourned the relationship we could have had while she was still in it. That's something I want you to understand. People don't leave relationships suddenly. They leave them slowly, emotionally, years before they physically disappear. After Susan passed, people called me strong. They said I'd been a good husband. They told me not to be so hard on myself. But strength isn't what I feel when I wake up alone. And goodness isn't measured by what you didn't do wrong. I wasn't cruel. I wasn't unfaithful. I wasn't absent. But I was disengaged. And disengagement is its own kind of abandonment. If you're listening to this and you're in a relationship, I want you to pause for a moment. Not later, now. Ask yourself, when was the last time you chose connection over convenience? When was the last time you listened without waiting to respond? When was the last time you did anything simply because it mattered to your partner? Love doesn't disappear in explosions. It erodes quietly through postponed conversations and ignored invitations. I believed we had decades ahead of us. I believed love could be put on autopilot. I believed time was guaranteed. It isn't. If I could leave you with one thing, it's this. Don't wait for loss to teach you how to love properly. Say yes more often. Be curious longer. Put the phone down. Ask the deeper question. Take the trip. Have the conversation. Because one day you'll look back and realize the cost of connection was small and the cost of neglect was everything. I thought I had time. I was wrong.